Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to solve a Leetcode question which is a Pascal triangle. In this question we are supposed to draw a Pascal triangle and we have given an integer number, and from that we are supposed to draw a Pascal triangle that will contain the n rows. Let's try to see this with an example. Let's say if we have given n is equal to 5, then we are supposed to draw a Pascal triangle that will contain the 5 rows in it. Okay, so from this we have some points to observe. Let's say we can clearly observe that the value of first and last column in each row is 1, right? In second row we can see that the value of first and last column is 1. In third row we can see that the value of first and last column is 1, and so on. Okay, so here we are initializing. Also, we can also notice that we have n rows, right? And n columns will also be there. Like in fifth row, we have how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we have 5 columns. So we can conclude that if n is given, then we will have n rows and n columns in that Pascal triangle, right? And second observation is that all the first and last column values will be 1. Okay. And third observation is that the value which we are required to calculate will be the sum of its previous row and column value. This will be the sum of its previous row and column value. 2 plus 1 is going to be 3. 1 plus 3 is going to be 4, and so on. Okay. So 3 points we need to consider. I hope you got the idea about it. Okay. So let's try to code this. First of all, we will initialize our vector that we are supposed to return. And then we will return this vector. Alright. Now we will code here. We will initialize our loop, and this is going to represent our rows. I plus plus, and in this we will initialize our column. Here one point is to be noticed, that why we have initialized the value of j with 1 and not with 0. Let's try to see this. As we can see that in first row the column is 0, which means that we have one column, right? So there it automatically needs to be initialized, right? There is no need to calculate this value. I hope you are getting my point. So that's why we are initializing it from here. We will calculate this value. We will calculate this value. That's why we are initializing it with 1, because zeroth column will be 1 automatically, right? So that's why there is no need to calculate this value. So that's why we are initializing it with 1. Okay, also we need to declare another vector int v that will contain the value. Like we can see that in first row we have one element. Okay, in second row we have two elements. In third row we have three elements. Okay, so we can observe that if there is a ith row, then we will have I plus 1 elements. Like in third row we will have 4 elements. Okay, so that's why we are going to initialize the size of this vector is I plus 1, and value will be 1. We will initialize all the values as 1, because in that case we only require to calculate this value, and it will be super easy to calculate this if all the values are 1. Okay, we don't we don't need to worry about the end columns in that case. That's why we are initializing the value as 1. Okay, so let's try to calculate the value at given index. Answer of I minus 1 and oops j plus answer of I minus 1 and j minus 1. Okay, let's try to understand this. Let's say we have taken the third row. In that case, I will be 2 and the values will be 1, 2, 1. Okay, and I is equal to 3. In that case, the values initialized in vector will be 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so we need, in this case, we will calculate this first value, right? We need to calculate this value. Yes, so this will be the jth value. Okay, and this can be calculated by the values of its above row. Above row will be I minus 1 and the value just above it j plus answer of I minus 1. We will calculate the above value and j minus 1. Okay, so what will be the value we will get? We will get answer of I minus 1. I is 3. So answer of 2 and j minus 1. J is 1. So answer of j plus answer of I minus 1, 2 and answer of j minus 1. Okay, so this will give us the value 2 plus 1. And in this way we can get this value as 3, the sum of its above value. Similarly, this will calculate this value. Okay, so this is the logic behind this question and I hope that you got the logic how to proceed in this case. Let's comment out this and we will push the final vector, final rows into the final answer. B. Okay, let's submit it. Oops, I have mistaken. Okay, so this has been accepted. Let's try to submit this. Okay friends, so this is done and I hope that you got the logic behind this. If you like this video, do subscribe this channel and share it with your friends. Thank you.